Howdy folks, my name's Casey. I'm here to take you on a little adventure. But today's trip, we are going from here in like the Weeki Wachee area and heading up the coast about 25 miles to the Osillo area. And there's a chain of islands up there, which is similar to like on the Everglades Challenge, leaving Chokoloskee, heading south to Flamingo. There's like just a bunch of little islands and stuff through there. And so we're gonna head north without a destination. We're just gonna find a place when we get up there and set up camp. Very impromptu trip right here. And now for today's trip, conditions are not great. So although it's clear skies, we do have strong winds gusting about 15 to 20 right now from the west. So I'm gonna have to hug the coast a little bit. I'm not gonna be able to get out into the deeper water. Just the wave action is gonna get too stirred up out there. So I also did not bring the sail. This is the sail. I have that skill already. I really need to build up my muscle and my endurance. So if I have the sail, I'm going to use it. So I really want to push myself physically on this trip. All right, away we go. It is a beautiful day out here. You don't even feel the wind right now. This is great. Yeah, we're just gonna turn north and have at it for 25 miles. And this is my new paddle from Best. They have pretty good reviews, so we'll see how it goes. You can see on the surface of the water, the wind picked up just now and it already stirred it up. And it looks like it's coming more north than west, so I'll have to double check that and see what it's supposed to be later today. But yeah, that's definitely like a northwest or even north wind. Oh yeah, we're showing 9 miles from the north. So I'm gonna go to windy and see what our gusts are. Yeah, windy's showing gusts to 24, so it is pretty gusty. 27, 26, depending on, let's get real close to shore here. 24. Yeah, gusts to 24, where we are even right on the shore, gusts to 22. So yeah, it'll be a ride today. Yeah, with these waves, it's such a chop that I'm trying to like stab my paddle in the top of the waves, and it's almost a pretty good rhythm. I miss every now and then when I get down in it, but I don't know how well this white pelican is going to show up out there, but to me it's a bright white bird sitting on the horizon out there. Up ahead you'll see a main island right off the bow of the boat, and to the right of it is another island, and in front of that island is something that resembles a sunken ship or a crashed airplane, or my mind has turned it into so many things. There's even a black thing on the left hand side of it that for a while I thought was a guy just sitting there, but I still can't tell what it is. Could be a tire tied off to it in the front, a bumper. Whatever it is shiny. We'll see in a minute. As I'm getting closer, that is definitely a boat with a bunch of debris off to the right of it. The water's getting shallow. I'm hoping I can get to it and check this thing out. This boat, I don't know if you can tell yet, but the sides all caved in. This boat is rolled coming across here. It had to have been Hurricane Milton or Helene. But there's debris all the way out here, just scattered up to it. This water's super shallow. I'm gonna have to get out and walk here in a minute. All right, so we're out. We're gonna walk up to it. Got a boat behind us, but I don't know if you can see the debris that's left out here. All right, let's go check it out. All right, so the boat is CK1 out of Clearwater. I just tied the kayak off to it. Wow. Yeah, it's really hard to walk over here. Yeah, look at that. That's crazy. Now, this whole boat that's been destroyed, the switches seem to be the best thing out of the whole boat. Oh, they had their spreader light left on. That's good. There's the motor right there. Big old Detroit diesel, it says. I think it's monstrous. About 6 foot long. And there's the debris field where it came from. And then it just missed this little island right here. So now I need to try and get back to the kayak without losing my shoes again. And I know I'm normally barefoot, but there's barnacles everywhere here. It's like really, really rough on the feet. So even with shoes on. Here we are looking at the bow of the boat here. It was a nice ship at some point. Look at that. All right, CK1. Not sure how long you'll be here, but I'm sure I'll see you again. All right, so I'm trying to leave the boat, and the water is just barely deep enough to coast through here. So I'm having to push with my hands a lot. But I'm hoping if I get out around the island here, and then I can bank right. So we've got the island right here. So just trying to get out far enough that I can start heading north again. Yeah, this water is shallow for so far. Just keep on walking. Eventually I'll hit deep water, right? And it's getting pretty far from shore. Yeah, that's the direction we want to go. But we got to go this way to find deep water. Just need to take a little water break and then press on again. It's still a beautiful day out here. I can't get over it. It's a great day for training. I don't know if that screen's going to show up or not, but we're coming up to the Citrus County line. And what's cool, or weird, I don't know if it's cool, but there's these posts out here that mark, like going all the way out as far as I can see. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can see 8 of them out there. So it's like a definitive line between Hernando and Citrus County. And I think that's for the scallop season, and for fishing too, but because this is the flats, a lot of people come out here to scallop, and the different counties have different regulations. But yeah, it's marked. Going all the way that way. 1, 2, 3. You can see at least 3 going up towards shore. Well, as I've been going north, I've been chasing the low tide, and I thought, looking at the map, I'd be able to shoot between these 2 islands here, this one and this one, but apparently not. So my plan is to backtrack, head out, and then try and go around this island. It'll add another probably mile to my route to do that. But again, I'm not here I don't have an end goal. I'm just doing it for the miles, so makes no difference really. And it's good practice to knowing, 1, that the charts are not accurate, and 2, how to fix those situations. So, all right, I'm gonna get unstuck and then try and head back out to sea and see if I can manage this. All right. At the end of the paddle, about 30 feet out, is a pile of rocks sticking out of the water. And we're good ways from shore. And on the maps, it's not really showing. It's showing that I have 2 foot of water here at low tide. And I do have about 2 foot of water. But there are these rocks that are sticking up, and these dark spots are where the rocks are. So I'm kind of weaving through, making sure I don't run into anything. But I was thinking about doing a night run, but this looks a little too rough for night runs. So we're going to stick to the original plan. Head out to the 25-mile area and then try and find an island that we can camp on out there. All right, well, we're 6 hours into the paddle and we're at 18 miles, so we're doing we brought that average back up, averaging 3. And I'm really okay with that because it's just so windy. Like fighting into the waves and the wind for 6 hours, it's kind of difficult. So I know tomorrow's trip down, I'm not sure what the winds are supposed to be. Not as strong as today, but it'll just be an easier paddle no matter what. All right, well, I need to go that way and I'm drifting this way, so let's paddle. There's a big boat going fast over there. There's a channel over there. That's where I want to be. I want to get that to that side, and then I'll be able to cut up. See where he goes. Looks like he's turning in. All right. You can see into the water here. I don't know if you can really see it. But you can see all the grass is laid over. I gotta change my settings, that's pretty bright. But all the grass is laid over this direction, and the wind's blowing and the current's fighting, and holy cow, I'm just trying to get around this point up here. But I stopped paddling just to turn the camera on. I'm already going 0.7 miles an hour the wrong direction. It's so fast. Look at that. 0.6, 0.7. Going the wrong way, just instantly. This is so difficult. Good practice, I guess. All right, so you can see all these little islands. I don't know if you can hear me because of the wind, but there's a lot of islands here, but none that I can camp on because they're all mangroves. So what I'm looking for is for a palm tree or something that's not a mangrove, but really a palm tree is going to stand out. So that's kind of what I'm looking for, what I'm focusing on. I really can't stop paddling though because I'm getting pushed back so fast. But you can see all these islands are just mangrove islands. All right, so kind of tucked in here now, looking around, and I'm really not seeing anything but mangroves. So this could be a problem. We got a couple hours before sunset, but yeah, was really expecting to see at least 1 or 2 options right away, but yeah, there's nothing out here. All right, well, I've kind of circled around this area and it's just mangroves. All these islands are mangroves. And I did the satellite imagery and it's just brown. There's nothing around here, so it's just mangroves. So I think my best bet is, I really haven't seen anything this whole trip that's decent, except for that little island that was by the boat. That's 15 miles back. I mean, it's a long way. But yeah, I think that's one you have to do. That puts me paddling at dark. No, man. Put myself in a bind. I gotta think about this. Okay, the decision has been made. I marked it on the GPS. It's 8.5 miles, straight line. Of course, I can't go a straight line, but that's where we're headed. And right now we're drifting into the mangroves. So, oh, well, I can show this, but the seas are getting turned up a little bit. And you would think that riding the waves would, at least I thought, riding the waves would be faster than going into them, but I'm really maintaining about the same speed. I'm going 4.1 with the waves, so, but it's comfortable. And there could also be like shallow water coming up too, so the water is just getting stacked. Got all these pelicans flying right here. That's awesome. Yeah, these waves are starting to get a little scary, I guess. I get to where I can barely touch the water with my paddle. I think I'm going to aim towards shore just a little bit here, just in case they stir up a little more. I don't really know what's going on with them. There is a channel right here, so I'm guessing I'm over shallows. I can't really see into the water right now. I've had some where the bow gets like sunk. I don't have any weight up there really, it's pretty light. But the wave was still just kind of resting on top of the bow. Or it might be better to go deeper. But I just wonder if there's a problem that I'm, you know, somewhat close to shore. So but this is saying where I need to be going is out that way. Try and hold the angle as best I can, but yep, when it rides up on top of them, I can barely touch the water. So they're so close together. I think if they were spread out further, it'd be a lot easier. Yeah, this is the most aggressive water I've been in. And it's really pushing me like to steer. I gotta use my legs, my arms. I mean, this would be great to practice in if I was fresh, but I'm tired. Bad timing. All right. Sea state's starting to calm down again. That was a little hairy there for a little bit. Some of those waves were big. They were well over 2 foot. I'm gonna say they were 3 foot yet, but they were over 2 foot. That was pretty wild. So, but I'm still gonna keep going closer to shore, and then I need to make like a 45-degree turn to the right to get to where I'm going. But we survived that. It's questionable. There was at least 2 times that I really had to brace and lean to stay upright. So that's about as much as I feel comfortable in. Well, even more bad news. I had the wrong thing marked on the GPS. I wanted to just verify, so I went and I was checking. Because I knew that I angled down to the boat, and then I had to hard sharp west to get out of there, and so that's what I looked for. But the spot that I was aiming towards was just another spot where there were shallows, and I went around them. So I fixed the compass, or fixed the GPS, and we are 6.5 miles still, and estimated arrival time is saying around 7:30, so it'll be dark. But oh man, it's a day. The sun's getting ready to set, but I can't quite point the camera at it yet. But we got to navigate through this little channel right here. It should shoot us out through the islands. Let's see on the map there. Just want to run up like that. That's that right there. Yeah, navigating through here is pretty nice, and we got the colors really close to what's in real life here, with the blue sky, the red right on the horizon, and then the water looks like a bluish gray. It must be a sandy bottom there. Still, you can almost see the sunset right there through the trees. Hopefully you make it out of the islands before it actually sets. All right. This might be the most open we get to see the sunset here. About to go back in around this corner right here. That's pretty. All right, so we got the sun setting. Really pretty out. We gotta tuck ourselves back into the islands here. But this is our sunset view. Very nice. Looking over on this side, the sun's behind us, but a lot of nice purples and colors. All right, notice that the wind was picking up. And I checked windy, and it's supposed to get progressively worse. I don't want to go to that little island that has the boat and get stuck. So I'm going to hug the shoreline, and if I see a good spot to pull out, I will. And it's going to be a long trip back if I hug the shoreline, because it's such deep coves back in here. But the water's getting too choppy out there, and I can't maintain a good comfort level, you know. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, scrapping the island idea. I see it out there, it's too windy. So, but yeah, getting these wind blocks is so nice. Yeah, you might even be able to see the island just off the tip of the paddle there. So it's right there, and the water doesn't look bad in the camera, but as you get out there, it's pretty rolly and white cappy. So yeah, I'm not doing that. All right, I had to pull over. Let's see, I was getting cold. I had to put on my lava core. I had to warm up. The wind's just picking up still, but I'm about to make a turn. And I think once I make that turn, I'm gonna get a bit of a wind block. I'm gonna hug the shore that way. But yeah, I don't see me getting back to the car before midnight at all. So it's gonna be a late night. But yeah, there's nowhere else to go. I mean, there's no shore, no islands, everything's mangroves. So, all right, let's figure it out. I don't know if you can see how fast that water's moving. That's the tide going out, and you can see the rock right there. So I'm just screwed. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna walk the kayak along the shoreline, I guess, just to pass time, but there's nowhere to go. Man, I wish there was just a spot big enough to set up a tent. All right, we broke free again, so pressing forward again. I don't really have a whole lot to say about the whole situation, but the wind is kind of dying down a little bit. It's supposed to be making a shift, so but that's at like midnight to 2. So it's gonna be good winds up until about 11, and it is 9. So we got 2 more hours of good winds. So I still want to stay close to land, but I also don't want to get too far into land because low tide's coming, and I'm definitely gonna get stuck on a low tide somewhere if I stay too close. So each little step is trial and error and figuring it out, but I'm in really shallow water. So heading towards city lights. This angle should get me to some really shallow water. I'm gonna have to skirt around once I get there, but let's see if we can at least get there. There's this little island out here. It's pretty far from shore, but I just want to swing by it and see if there's a dry spot to put a hammock or to put a tent. Hopefully there's something. If there's not, then heading back to the car, I guess. Now, that little island is just another patch of mangroves sticking out of the water. So let's see if we can angle over towards Bayport again. I think I got a pretty good line right here. If I stay here, should keep us out of the super shallow stuff. And I just gotta watch out for the big piles of rocks that are everywhere. All right, so that wind shift to the west has happened, and it's blowing pretty hard. So I know this water is gonna turn up pretty quick. So I'm heading into shore, even though it's not where I want to go. I need to get into protected water, and then I can run that coast again. Yeah, we're, I think, 6 or 7 miles from the car, which is surprising. So just a couple hours. Just got to get into water that I can paddle, but also water that's not so choppy that's going to shove me out to sea. All right, that east wind is picking up and it's like right on my broadside, so it's really choppy. I did almost catch a fish. Jumped out of the water and hit my shoulder, just a little guy. Pretty funny. I don't know how well that's going to come in, but that's the moonrise. That is so cool. I saw the orange light and I was like, I wonder what's over there. And then, like, as time went on, I was like, oh, it's the moon. But I waited till it's fully up, but that's the moonrise. And if you guys could see, which I know you can't, the stars are incredible. Such a good night. Alright, well, I made it to the landing. It is low tide, but we made it. Alright, it's 11:45. I did 46 miles in a day. Actually, 46.8, so almost 47 miles in a day. So that's pretty impressive. And total time was 15 hours, 17 minutes. But yeah, it was a good trip. Navigation wise, I did really good. I'm using the GPS and the compass, and I was able to navigate through the islands, which is really what I wanted to do. I wanted to get up there and navigate, and I got to do that. I did wish I could have camped, but the fact that I did 46 miles in a day really boosts my confidence in making it to Cape Hayes. I feel really good about the Everglades Challenge right now. It's in a week and a half, and I'm going to do a little bit more training, not on the water, at home. And yeah, next video should be a beach walk. So close. See y'all later, and thanks for watching.